Hi, welcome back everybody. If you're just joining us, this is D.Colabella Fine Art Gallery located at 446 Main Street in Ridgefield, Connecticut. We are blessed today to have Karolina Karlsson with us. And just to tell you how I found Karolina, we were at Scope and one of her studio mates, Eve Bose, who is shown here and will be showing here in the next show, I met her and Karolina came over to us, and one of the things that I loved, the first time I ever saw your work, I thought it was so inventive. And I really mean that. It's so different than a lot of the contemporary artists because of your simple lines, your cubist take, and the simple and calming color palette, all contributing to a very unique look that is truly just you. And it matches your calm and kind personality so much. I just fell in love with her work and of course with you as a person. So seeing objects differently definitely changes people's perspective. I noticed your earlier work, you were a little bit more traditional in your abstraction. And then as things progressed, you got a little bit more into the cubist approach. What was the first time you discovered this style? And this piece is called Orange You Glad. And you thought, wow, I have something.
Well, I think it was when I was first painting, I was doing a bit of realism and I really wanted to express myself in a different way. And I thought about artists like Picasso, Matisse, and Botero who are doing these kind of abstracted ways of, showing emotion. And I felt it was a lot more freeing to be able to create outside of the confines of realism. So to use geometric shapes or use over-exaggerated lines to evoke that really helped me step into a different framework for creativity.
Yep, and it really shows. And again, I think the biggest thing that I want to emphasize about your work is the fact that it is so unique. We go to a lot of art shows, we have a lot of artist friends, and what she does is truly different and inspired. So, we spoke about the importance of your process by just doing. Even if you have a block, even if it means throwing out half of what you've done and saying this doesn't work, can you tell us how that kind of leads you to where you end up creatively?
Yeah, I feel like one of the hardest parts of being an artist is feeling like you have to create something groundbreaking, and that kind of goes against the creative process. So whenever I'm feeling blocked, I just like to think of something that is just completely foolproof so that I can feel confident in getting back into something creative. So yeah, sometimes I'll just draw the sun, a smiley face, or even just an avocado, and then I feel like, you know what, this brings me joy. I'm not overthinking it. I kind of just get to let go and create.
Right, and in drawing that avocado, it actually led to two pieces here, which is called Just the Pits and Just the Pits Mini. So these are actually beautiful colors and just expressive avocados, but they work. They work in such a basic level to really bring you back. So I love it. So also food like the avocado, which is represented. Can you tell me why avocados? What's the meaning of that to you?
Funny enough, I've been painting avocados since the start. My first series was a deconstructed series, and I used these abstracted bodies, and I was making patterns with food and fruits and things like that. And avocados were always there. But I think a part of me just always felt like there's such a connection to being a millennial. They work, and also just a part of my life. Avocado works great with sushi. It's great on toast. And it's a really cute emoji. So you can they've always just kind of been around. I love avocados. And they just have a very organic, calming shape to them.
Right.
If you kind of flip them the right way, they do look like yin and yang a bit. So I don't know. They just always felt like a calming gray option for painting.
Yes, and I also feel like that green that you pull from the avocado, which is so calming and beautiful, really works. So I kind of feel like you've carried that through other pieces. And as far as when you choose your color palette, we talked a lot about that. I noticed that you have very contrasting colors, but they're not overpowering. They're very calming. How do you achieve that in your work? And balance that need to have the contrast, but still stay calm?
Yeah, I think for my process, I like to mix all my colors with a lot of gesso. It really mutes the color down because I don't like colors that are too overwhelming. Ultimately, I want to live with my pieces and I want them to reflect a bit of who I am. And so, yeah, so I just want them to kind of be a little bit more muted down. And another way I achieve that is by using each of the colors within each other. So this color has some of the pink and the same yellows, and so I use all the colors within each other so that they speak together, so they're from the same color family.
And that's how they create such a even feel and such a mood.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I wanted to talk about how you share time in between your studio in New York, which is a bunch of women artists who work out of that studio, and also St. Bart's. Does that inform how you create?
Definitely. I'm really influenced by where I'm painting and who I'm around. Most of these paintings are this one's about friendship, this one's about love, and so they all kind of, share a story of a place and the people around me.
Yep, and St. Bart's, the color palette, again,
Yes.
comes into play a lot in your pieces, correct?
Absolutely. When I'm painting pieces in St. Bart's, or if I'm feeling inspired from the islands, it's a lot of bright colors, summery palettes, and very fruity palettes.
Yeah, and what a blessing to be able to bring in different areas that you're, visiting and really connecting with, and bring that into your work.
Thank you.
So as we talk about the deconstructed series, and especially in the buff, one of the things that I noticed is, again, your earlier work had like a one woman in it. And then you went to these interlocking figures. Does that mean something different to you?
It does. I think from when I began my artist journey, or when I revisited my artist journey during the pandemic, there was this great sense of disconnect from the world, disconnect from myself because of the state of the world. And so I noticed that a lot of my paintings then were disconnected figures creating a pattern. And subconsciously over the years, I've realized that everything kind of fits together. It's all more connected now, which also reflects with where I am in my personal journey.
Which is amazing, right? We all have to support each other as artists. Mm-hmm. And I feel that whenever we work together and whenever we, talk, you're very connected to the people in your life and your artwork through that. So it's wonderful to see and understand about you.
Thank you.
So as far as your artistic goals, we're coming now on a new year. This show is going to be a huge success. And also, I want to hear what your plans are for after this show.
My plans for after this show is to really just stay on the flow that I've been on. I feel really connected to what I'm doing. And so I just want to keep following opportunities and inspiration and see where it might lead.
Yeah, and she just finished up a very successful show in St. Bart's, actually 2 separate shows, if I'm correct. And that was a huge success for her. So she'll probably be showing a little bit in New York. I think you've shown in Paris, correct?
I showed in London.
Sorry.
But yeah, so yeah, I have some shows coming up, but
yeah,
more to come on that.
I'm very excited to see what comes up.
Thank you.
So as I asked Lisa, I'm going to ask you, what is the most salient piece of advice that you've gotten on your journey as an artist?
I think it is, if you're not enjoying what you're doing it wrong. And I think it's just breaking out of that mindset of things needing to be perfect or doing something better than you did before. It's just about enjoying the process. It has to be connected to how you're feeling. So that's what I'd say to anyone, is just, if you're not enjoying it, start something else.
Yes, I 100% agree. And I always say, for the viewers, people always ask me how you know good art. You know good art when you love it or hate it. And what I mean by that is, that means something has touched you. The worst reaction you get from art is, that's the worst. So I really feel like your soul and your just essence has transferred onto these pieces. And I think everybody will love them when they see them.
Thank you.
So I hope you all follow Karolina on her Instagram. It's Karolina Karlsson. And we hope you follow us. And thank you guys so much for joining in. Remember, the opening of this, the official opening, is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock here at 446 Main Street in Ridgefield. 5% of the proceeds from this entire exhibit will go to Danbury Hospital, so it goes to a great cause. Thank you so much, and we will see you soon.
Thank you.
Yay!